Welcome back to The Independent. Sergeant Andrew Tamarisi served his country honorably in Afghanistan, but he apparently took a wrong turn near Tijuana, Mexico when he was driving as a civilian. And he's been rotting in a Mexican jail ever since. He had 3 guns in his car. He suffers from PTSD. His family is exasperated. But has the president done enough to secure his release? Talk show legend and former Marine and naval officer Montel Williams spoke earlier today.
Sergeant Tamarisi's time in this prison has been worse than his time in both combat situations. And to me, this is an abomination. 6 months, he didn't hesitate to say, aye, sir, to go off and serve. How dare we, as a nation, hesitate to get that young man back?
Montel Williams joins us. Montel, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Kennedy. Thanks for having me.
I know it was an emotional day for you. Tell me about the mood on Capitol Hill. Has the momentum changed?
I would tell you something. I was absolutely just floored by the number of members that flew back from raising money and all the things that they've been doing outside of the country to come back here today and sit there in that room and in consensus agree that enough is enough. But also in consensus, those members that were there in committee also said that the other members of Congress need to step up to the plate and do what's right now, even while they're on a break. Let's get the bill, House Resolution 620, to the floor, and let's vote on it. That at least will send a message to the Mexican government and to our own government that it's time to say enough is enough. Bring our wounded soldier home. And whether or not the wounds are ones that you can see or not, this young man is wounded. He suffers from and has been diagnosed by our government as having combat PTSD. That says that we now have to assume responsibility for what we did to him in his effort to keep us doing what we're doing right here, and that's protecting our democracy.
Montel, the White House has said that we're working on it. We've talked to the Mexican government. It's working through the system. What's your response to the way that they have characterized their own involvement so far?
Let me say this, and I got to make this really clear. We would like to, and I would like to jump on board with everybody else and bash one side or one person in this, but I'm going to tell you that Congress at all and Senate bear this responsibility along with the President of the United States. In the last 10 days, there have been 2 governors, one from each party, who have gone down and talked to President Naito and not even mentioned Sergeant Tamarisi. There have been conversations with other dignitaries who have been down there, but this is not raised to the level of national commentary because still people are trying to give themselves an excuse to not care. Because they say things like, oh, well, he made a mistake. Oh, he broke another country's law. You know, be that as it may. And I think the evidence now clearly shows in every instance, from the psychiatrist that the Mexican government has assigned to look into his case, that came back and said unequivocally this young man is suffering from combat PTSD. From the doctors who diagnosed him the week that he got missing and the day that he went missing, he is suffering from combat PTSD. So everything that took place with him entering this country illegally is even clearly pointed out in the videotape that has been submitted to evidence. When he pulled up to the gate, he put his hands up. They gave him a green light to go into the country. He could have entered the country and told no one he had weapons. But because he's an honest Marine, got to get this, it's beaten into our skulls. You don't have the ability to lie when it comes to things like that. That Marine said to the guards, hey, I made a mistake. I have guns in the car. And because he was honest, he's being held in a prison. And I get it. Countries have sovereign laws. He broke a sovereign law. But all countries have a sovereign responsibility to their constituents and their citizens, and especially those who have served their country with honor and dignity and put their life on the line. It is inexcusable to me that this administration, no one from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Speaker Boehner, has not called Jill. And so I don't understand. There's a House resolution that's out there to say, let's get busy and get this young man out. But nobody's willing. Only 80 congressmen have signed on.
Now, Montel,
so
I know
we can blame Obama all we want, but we got to blame everybody. It's a lack of leadership. Get our boy home.
Well, I know you sent a letter to the Mexican president. What was the response that you got back?
It was amazing. And this was about a month ago now. And this is part of the reason why I decided to come public. I sent a letter to the Mexican president and their attorney general. They had someone down in the embassy actually respond to every single one of my questions. And you know, I felt really good about the fact that in their response, they showed me some respect in that response in saying, we understand how a naval officer or a person in the military service will be concerned about another fellow soldier. So they came back to me. But then they tried to explain that Andrew was being held and justifiably. And of course, we turned around and got another letter back out to him and said, no, he's not. And now everything I stated in that second letter has been proven in a court. So the truth is, we know for a fact, every single person that crosses that border and comes into the United States, whether we arrest them, we get them, we put them in prison. If a guy comes in and he's a Mexican citizen, enters the United States, and we have him in prison because he's entered the country illegally, and that man has an illness, he has tuberculosis, he has whatever, we treat them. We treat them. Right now, Sergeant Tamarisi is sitting in a prison in Mexico, and the entire country does not have the capability of providing any form of treatment.
Well,
so
you know, I don't expect a lot from them. I expect more from our government, frankly, and I hope the president steps up and makes the phone call and secures his release or extradition or something so the guy can come back here and be treated. Montel, thank you very much. Please come visit us again and keep us updated.
Thank you. Thanks
you
for
very
having
much.
me.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.